John Korir, 29 years old, back-to-back Boston champion, Kenya's most dangerous man on a marathon course. He lined up on Patriots Day with one target, a record that had survived every runner on the planet for 15 years. Nobody had broken it. Nobody had come close. What John Korir did next stopped the marathon world cold. To understand what John Korir did on Patriots Day, you have to start with his brother. Wesley Korir is 14 years older than John. He grew up in Kitale, Kenya, in a family of 8 children. Life was not easy. School fees were hard to pay. Running became Wesley's way out. He earned a college scholarship in the United States, graduated from the University of Louisville, and built a marathon career serious enough to win the 2012 Boston Marathon. He later won a seat in the Kenyan parliament. John Korir was born on December 2, 1996. By the time Wesley was winning Boston, John was a 15-year-old still in school. Wesley had told people about his younger brother for years, a kid with serious talent who needed to grow up first before the world could see what he was capable of. The world eventually found out, and when it did so in the most dramatic way possible. John Korir did not arrive at the top of marathon running slowly. He arrived in bursts. His first major breakthrough came in 2022 when he won the Los Angeles Marathon. 2 years later, in October 2024, he stood at the start of the Chicago Marathon as one of the favorites and delivered a time of 2 hours, 2 minutes 44 seconds, a performance that made him the 6th fastest marathoner in history at that point and the first Kenyan to win Chicago that year. Then came Boston 2025, and what happened there is the kind of story that should not be possible. At the very start of the race in Hopkinton, Korir fell. He hit the road, cut his hand and his knee, and watched the pack run away from him. For most runners, that is the race over. The gap is too large. The pain is too real. The mind breaks before the body does. Korir got up, he found his pace, and he ran through the entire field. By mile 20, he was in front. He crossed the line in 2 hours, 4 minutes and 45 seconds. His brother Wesley was waiting for him at the finish. 13 years after Wesley's win, John had followed him. They became the first brothers in history to both win the Boston Marathon. After Boston 2025, Korir went to Chicago in October to defend his title from the year before. He took the lead. He thought he had the race won. Then a stomach cramp hit. He slowed. The pack came back. He dropped out. It was the first time in years that he had not finished a major race. He flew home to Kenya and made a decision. He would go to Valencia in December, run fast, and prove he was still one of the best in the world. On December 7th, 2025, he ran 2 hours, 2 minutes and 24 seconds in Valencia, Spain. It was a personal best. It was the 8th fastest marathon time in history on a record-eligible course. He won by nearly 2 minutes. After crossing the line, he told reporters, "I know some people may have thought that the Korir family name is going down, but I had to come here and prove to them that Korir is still there." That declaration was the preview. Boston 2026 was the proof. The 131st Boston Marathon started in Hopkinton with a large lead pack. The early pace was controlled. The group passed 10 kilometers in 29 minutes and 2 seconds with world champion Alphonse Simbu of Tanzania, 2021 Boston winner Benson Kipruto, and Milkesa Mengesha, the 2024 Berlin Marathon champion, all running together alongside Korir. Then came Heartbreak Hill. Heartbreak Hill is the most famous stretch of the Boston course. It rises at mile 20, the point in a marathon where the glycogen runs out, the legs go heavy, and the body starts negotiating with the mind. The finish is still 6 miles away. Runners who have been flying for 20 miles suddenly feel like they are carrying weight. It has ended more races than any other part of the course. Korir surged there. He went from the chase group directly to the front, passing Mengesha and opening daylight within a matter of strides. By the top of the climb, he was clear. By 35 kilometers, his lead was 26 seconds. By 40 kilometers, it was 43 seconds. He crossed the Boylston Street finish line in 2 hours, 1 minute and 52 seconds. Jeffrey Mutai of Kenya ran 2 hours, 3 minutes and 2 seconds at the Boston Marathon in 2011. That time was the fastest ever recorded on the course, and it stood for 15 years. Korir didn't just beat it, he beat it by 70 seconds, a margin so large that all three men on the podium in 2026 finished faster than Mutai's mark. With 13 men finishing under 2 minutes 6 seconds, it was one of the deepest Boston marathons in the race's history. Because Boston runs point-to-point and is net downhill, times run there are not eligible to count as official personal bests under World Athletics rules. That means Korir's 2 hours 1 minute 52 seconds does not replace his personal best. It also does not count toward the world record of 2 hours 0 minutes 35 seconds. But as a course record, it is permanent. It belongs to him now. After crossing the line, Korir said, "I knew I would defend my title, but I didn't know I would run that fast. For many years, my mind was set on the course record, and I thank God that I have achieved it now." Sharon Lokedi of Kenya won the women's race for the second year in a row, finishing in 2 hours 18 minutes 51 seconds. The decisive moment came at Heartbreak Hill, where she broke away from a pack of Kenyan runners and never looked back. It was the first time since 1995 that both the men's and women's champions defended their Boston titles in the same years. John Korir is 29 years old. He is now the only man alive to have won the Boston Marathon twice in back-to-back years, with one of those wins also being a course record. His brother Wesley won Boston in 2012, making them the first siblings to both win the race in its entire history. After his 2025 Boston win, Korir donated 10% of his $150,000 prize money to help students in Kenya, funding a bus so young athletes from Wesley's Transcend Talent Academy could travel safely to training. He trains in the hills near Kitale and on the flat roads around Eldoret. He has a clear picture of what he is working toward. He fell at the start line in 2025 and still won. He dropped out of Chicago in 2025 and came back to run the 8th fastest time in history 6 weeks later. He came to Boston in 2026 and destroyed the 15-year-old course standard by 70 seconds. The world marathon record is 2 hours, 0 minutes, 35 seconds set by Kelvin Kiptum in 2023. Korir has already run 2 hours, 1 minute, 52 seconds. The gap is 77 seconds. It is real, but so is he. On April 20th, 2026, John Korir ran the Boston Marathon in 2 hours, 1 minute, and 52 seconds. He set a Boston benchmark that had stood since 2011. He won by 55 seconds. He became a back-to-back champion in a race where he once got off the ground from a fall and still crossed the line first. He did it after absorbing a DNF in Chicago. He did it after proving himself in Valencia. He did it because, at every moment this sport tried to push him off course, he found a way back. He told us he was going for the record. He said it was in his mind before he stepped to the starting line. The planning was deliberate, the execution was flawless. He is 29 years old. The world record is 77 seconds away, and after watching what he did on Boylston Street, that gap feels a little smaller every time he laces up his shoes and steps to a start line.